Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to my video of highlighting the 17 U.S. executions that's been carried out in the United States so far this year. This is part 2. Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor as you come on in, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. Let's get to it. Now, number 6 on the list coming in is John Lazelle Ballantyne. He was executed on February the 8th, 2023. At the time of his death, he was 54 years old. Now, at the time of his offense, he was 28 years old. So he spent about 25, 26 years on death row before they executed him this year. So let's get into it and find out how this guy met his maker this year on February the 8th. You know, what crimes sent him to death row. Let's get into it. John Lazelle Ballantyne, he was convicted of killing 3 teenagers as they slept in their beds in a home he once shared with his ex-girlfriend, right? So apparently he had an ex-girlfriend, a white girl, because these 3 teenagers were all white. They were all white males. Now, the jurors, his lawyers were arguing that there was racism surrounded this trial, and that's why he was convicted of the death penalty. They were arguing for a life sentence, but they said that due to the people that he killed, 3 white male teenagers, and he was going out with a white girl in Texas, that he, you know, there was a lot of racism involved in the trial, and that's why he was convicted of the death penalty. I don't know how you guys feel about the death penalty, if you agree with it or if you don't agree with it. You can leave a comment in my comment section, tell me how you feel about it. Me personally, the race part about this crime right here, I don't care if you black, white, red, or brown. You creep in somebody's house and you kill 3 teenagers, shoot them in the back of the head while they're asleep. There's nothing. I heard also. Let me get this part out. He didn't even know 2 of the teenagers. Now, one of the teenagers that he shot was the brother of the ex-girlfriend. Now, they said that they had an argument about him going out with his sister. I guess the young man didn't agree of interracial relationships, right? But if he's 17 and this guy's like 25, 26 years old, I'm not sure what kind of effect the 17-year-old could have had on their relationship. You know, he probably couldn't have liked it, but that's no reason to go shoot this boy in the back of the head, him and 2 of his friends. So that's what got this man convicted of the death penalty, and they carried that sentence out on February the 8th of 2023 this year. He was the 6th person out of the 17 people that's been killed so far to meet their maker. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into number 7. Number 7 on the list, Donald David Dilbelt. That name sound funny? Let's get into number 7. We're going to be right back with number 7 on the list. Okay, Donald David Dilbeck. As you can see his name right here, number 7, right there. February 23rd, 2023. Donald David Dilbeck, 59 years old at the time of his execution, 27 years old at the time of his offense. So what is that? That's about, it says here, what, about 32 years? 30-something years on death row. Let's find out what Donald David Dilbeck did to meet his maker on February 23rd of 2023 of this year. Now, you can look on this list right here while I'm talking. If you look, man, the United States was getting busy. They just in that month alone of February, 4 executions were carried out, and he's the 7th person on this list, the 7th person this year that was executed. So let's see what Donald David Dilbeck did to receive the death penalty. Okay, Donald David Dilbeck, he never had a chance, guys. I thought we'd just read through this to give you some context about how this guy got to death row and ultimately was executed this year, right? Now, it starts back in April 11th, 1979. Dilbeck was a high school dropout and a runaway sitting inside a stolen car, parked at a park in a beach in Fort Myers, Florida. Someone made a suspicious persons complaint about this, and a Lee County deputy, Lynn Hall, arrived and questioned him. He ran from the car, so Hall chased and caught him on foot. During that, a struggle followed. Dilbeck grabbed the gun and shot him dead. Now, on February 7th, 1983, Dilbeck escaped from a prison and was recaptured. And for this, he was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison, which was already added to the life imprisonment that he received for the deputy's shooting, right? Dilbeck escaped prison and was recaptured. He was later given a 25-year mandatory minimum sentence and put in a lower security facility where he was disciplined multiple times, including for attempted assault in 1984 and drinking intoxicants in 1985. Now, on June 22nd, 1990, Dilbeck was working with other inmates on a catering function at the Quincy Vocation Center. He walked away and ended up in Tallahassee. Can you believe that they had a murderer of a police officer actually working during work release out on the streets at that time? That's kind of crazy. I don't think they do that no more. Now, he walked away and ended up in Tallahassee, where he stole a paring knife. A paring knife. And on June 24th, he approached a woman named Robbie Faye Vann, age 44, in her vehicle in a parking lot of the Tallahassee Mart with the knife. He attempted to carjack her, and she resisted. He then stabbed her repeatedly, killing her, and then took the car. It was a high-speed chase. He crashed, fled on foot, and was chased by mall security. Now, that's crazy, right? This all started back when he was 16 years old. And from 1979 all the way up to 1990, and then he finally got the death sentence, right? Because he escaped and killed that woman, right? He had already killed the police officer. They gave him a 25-year mandatory. He dropped it from life to a 25-year mandatory minimum sentence. I'm pretty sure this guy would have been getting out of jail, right? But he broke out of jail and went and killed somebody else. You talking about a crash test dummy? That's this guy right here, man. David Dilbeck, coming in at number 7 on our list, executed on February 23rd, 2023 this year, right? Let's get to number 8 on the list. It's March 7th. We're only 3 months in. And we got Gary Green, age 51, at the time of his execution, age 38, at the time of the offense, a total of 13 years on death row, which is kind of fast. He received this death sentence kind of fast. 13 years. A lot of people stay, I don't know, maybe the average, I seen like 16, about 18, 20 years, but that's kind of fast. 13 years. Usually it's about 18 to 20 years before they carry out these sentences. Sometimes even longer, right? Sometimes even longer. You see the other guy right before was like about 32 years. And here we have a guy who committed his crime 13 years ago. And, well, he's been on death row for about 13 years, you know. You know, it takes a while to go through the trial and stuff like that. So maybe about 15 years ago he committed his crime. And, you know, 13 years after conviction, he's dead, right? So, March 7th, 2023, Gary Green, age 51, 38 when he did this, when he received the death penalty, right? So let's find out what Gary Green did to receive his death sentence. Gary Green is a sucker. I just read some of the story about Gary Green, and he is straight simp. And I just like to say this to any guys out there who are going through any kind of type of domestic violence, or your woman don't want to be with you, let her go, bro. Don't do what this dummy did, right? Now, Green, 51, was convicted in 2010 for the murder of his wife, Lovetta Armstead, and her 6-year-old daughter, Jasmine Montgomery, the year before. After Green learned that his wife wanted to annul their marriage, he fatally stabbed Armstead and drowned Montgomery in the bathtub, according to court filings. Green turned himself in to the police and confessed to the killings. That's a straight simp, bro. Hey, man, you can't make a woman stay with you, bro. And trust me, I know a lot of people go through heartbreak. I've been through it before. You can get over it, man. There's somebody else out there that's for you. You cannot make a woman stay with you, bro. And then to do this to this 6-year-old girl who had nothing to do, I mean, nothing at all to do with your relationship, you know, just because you can't hold on to a woman. Wow, man, that's a straight simp right there, man. But like I said, man, you know, RIP to the mother and daughter. And, you know, this simp got what he deserved on March 7th, 2023. You know what I'm saying? This is what this fool had to say before he was executed, as if anyone really cares. I took not one, but 2 people that we all loved, and I had to live with it while I was here. I ask that you forgive me, not for me, but for y'all. I'm fixing to go home, and y'all are going to be here. I want to make sure you don't suffer. You have to forgive me to heal on and move on, Green said in his final statement. Really? This dude is like a philosopher now? Come on, man. Go and take your medicine. And I hate to sound that I'm being real brash and blunt about how I feel, man. But come on, man. Leave a comment in my comment section and tell me this dude don't deserve the death penalty, right? This dude right here, he don't deserve it? Wow. Let's get to number 9 on the list. Okay, coming in at number 9. I did a video about this one right here. Arthur Brown Jr. executed on March 9th, 2023 at the age of 52. He was 21 when he received the death penalty. He spent 31 years on death row. And this story comes to you from Texas. It was the Brownstone Lane murders coming out of Houston, Texas. I did a video about it, so I kind of know a little bit about it. But let's get back into it and find out so I can let you know what Arthur Brown Jr. did to receive the death penalty. Let's get into it. Brown and 2 other men were convicted in 1992 execution-style killings of Jose Guadalupe Tovar, Jessica Quinones, Audrey Brown, Frank Farias. The 4 victims were each tied up in Tovar's Houston home and shot in the back of the head. Tovar and his wife Rachel were known drug dealers who supplied cocaine and marijuana to Brown and the other men. Now, they actually tied up all 6 victims, and the other 2, all of them were shot in the back of the head, and Tovar and his wife, they survived. Now, the murders were eventually called the Brownstone Lane murders, right? And this is what he had to say. Oh, before I get to that, the 2 other guys that he was with was Antonio Dunson, who is serving life. He's serving a life sentence right now. And the other guy, Dudley, Marion Dudley, he's the one who was executed in 2006. Just to give you some context. And the reason why I bring that up, because this is what he said. This is what Antonio Brown had said on his right before he was executed. Brown maintained his innocence till his last breath, claiming the courts and prosecutors blocked him from evidence that proved he did not murder that night. What is occurring here tonight is not justice. It's murder of an innocent man for a murder that occurred in 1992. That's what Brown said on his death gurney, according to prison officials. He said that my co-defendant was executed in 2006, and if I'm innocent, he was innocent, and they are killing an innocent man, and the state doesn't want to hear the truth. And that's all he had to say. That's what he said, though. He maintaining his innocence until they injected him with that needle. And if he is innocent, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know how you find yourself in the middle of being accused of shooting 6 people in the back of the head, bro. I wasn't there at the trial, so I don't know the evidence, how much stronger of a case of evidence they had against you, but apparently they had a lot, because they've already executed one of your co-defendants, and this man lost his life on March 9th, 2023, and he was the 9th person to be executed in the United States. The United States is not playing in some of these states where you are committing these heinous crimes. Like I said before, leave me a comment in the comment section and tell me how you guys feel about it. I mean, Me personally, if you do the crime, you take people's lives like that, bro. You just out on the street wilding out like that. We need some kind of civil discourse, civility in society, right? That's what makes a society. We can't just have people running around just breaking in people's homes, going to movie. I know it's unjust how some people get it and some people don't. I understand that, but hey, there's some crimes that me personally that you can't come back from. We don't need you on the planet. That's my take, right? Leave a comment in the comment section and tell me if you feel any different. Let's get to number 10. Let's get to number 10 on the list. Okay, coming in at number 10 on the list, Luis Bernard Gaskin. It's the 4th month. It's April 12th, 2023. And the United States government is on their 10th body. Luis Bernard Gaskin, age 56. At the time of his execution, age 22, when he committed the crime. 34 years on death row. Let's get into it and find out how Luis Bernard Gaskin became the 10th body for the United States government. Let's get to it. Luis Bernard Gaskin, he's number 10 on the list. I did a story about this guy too. I know I did, because he's called the Ninja Killer, right? And this story comes to us from Florida. Texas has been putting it down, and you also know that Florida is another state. They'll use that death penalty against you, right? They'll put it down on you. You know what I'm saying? In the state of Florida. I believe it's Texas, then it's Florida, then it's Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, is Kansas? Somebody in the comment section let me know if Kansas be getting down like that. But I know Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, even Virginia. Virginia, put that needle in you too. So, but Luis Bernard Gaskin, he was known as the Ninja Killer because he dressed in full black ninja outfit to avoid identification. Now, like I said, he was executed on April 12th, 2023 at the age of 56. Now, on the night of December 20th, 1989, Gaskin walked up to the Palm Coast home of 56-year-old Robert and 55-year-old Georgette Sternfels. Now, he had a .22 caliber rifle with him while wearing completely black ninja outfit. Now, he did that to avoid being, detected. He was having cover. Now, Gaskin circled the home to the back of the window where Robert was sitting in a recliner and Georgette sat on the sofa. Gaskin fired his gun, shooting Robert 5 times, killing him, and shooting Georgette once. Georgette was still alive after the first shot, so Gaskin reloaded his gun and shot Georgette in the head, killing her. Now, that's how this brother Luis Gaskin came upon his death penalty case. So, like I said before, man, some of these dudes are like crash test dummies, right? I'm sorry, that's my son walking in. He just walked in the back right there. But yeah, but some of these guys be jumping off the porch just for nonsense, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, leave a comment in my comment section and just tell me, do you think if any of these people that I'm covering right now, tell me that you don't believe that they don't deserve the death penalty. Now, I know there's other people out there who are still serving life sentence, did more stuff than some of these people did, and they didn't get the death penalty. Now, that part I don't agree with, right? I don't agree with it, right? In my state, a guy went into in Colorado, they went into the movie theater, shot 12 people. You know what I mean? Y'all, it was national news. Everybody heard about that. That boy ain't do no, they didn't give him the death penalty. So I feel like in Colorado, what is it going to take to get, you going to get somebody who killed 1 person or 2 people with the death penalty, but this guy can walk in a movie theater, kill 12 people while the Batman movie was playing? I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah, man, so I don't know, man. It's a different time, man. And it just seems like the crimes are getting worse, more heinous. So me personally, if you out there doing this type of stuff, man, hey, that's what the death penalty is for. So I don't mean to drag on about it, but Luis Gaskin, man, yeah, he reached his end on April 12th, 2023 at the age of 56. let's get to number 11 on the list, right? And then we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to get to number 11, and we probably have to do a part 3. But we're going to get to number 11 on the list and see what he did, okay? Okay, coming in at number 11, Daryl Brian Barwick, May 3rd, 2023. That was his date of execution. He was 56 years old. At the time of the offense, he was 19. Now this one right here is coming out of Florida. Florida's back in the house with another execution of Daryl Brian Barwick, May 3rd, 2023. He was the 11th person to be executed by the Bureau of Prisons in the United States. And like I said, 17 people so far this year have been executed, with more to come. There's more to come. Okay, Daryl Barwick was convicted of fatally stabbing a woman 37 times in 1986, right? He was 56 years old when he was executed. Now, no members of Barwick's family were in attendance at his execution, but he did speak to his family members by phone. According to court documents, Barwick was found guilty of first-degree murder on November 24th, 1986 for the death of 24-year-old Rebecca Went. Now, check this out. I find this kind of strange, right? Tell me if I'm tripping. Why did they have this man on death row for 37 years? Did they keep him on death row for 37 years because he stabbed that woman 37 times? That's crazy, right? He stabbed that woman 37 times, and he stayed on death row 37 years before they executed this man, right? I just find that strange. I wondered, was that deliberate or is that just karma? I don't know. You guys tell me. Leave me a comment in my comment section and let me know. But like I said before, Rowdy Nation TV, we're going to come back with part 3 on the 17. Finish off the rest of these 17 people who were executed this year. We got 6 more to go, right? We got 6 more to go. I don't know, people, and there's more. I didn't even really look. I think it was 17, right? Right now, I'm not sure if it was a total of 34 people that were supposed to be executed this year, and I think there's 17 already, but I'm not sure. But we're gonna find out together. But like I said before, we're gonna come back with part 3. And we're going to finish off the rest of these 6. And then after that, later on, we'll find out who are the next people they got, scheduled for execution for the rest of this year. I mean, this nation is getting crazier and crazier, rowdier and rowdier, right? I mean, every day there's something different. I mean, there's nothing in society that shocks us anymore. With the mass shootings that we have every day, the school violence, the cops shooting civilians, it's just crazy. It's mad out here, right? So feel free to join me again for part 3 of 17 U.S. executions that's been carried out so far. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me for a hot second. This is Rowdy Nation TV. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you'll be notified. We out.